Okay, yeah, we had a little problem with the can opener. Operator error. It works quite well, the can opener. That can opener is the first thing I bought when I came here. Because we're doing this eat the cans. And the first class I taught was Italian cooking. And we had 12 big, those big cans are called number 10 cans. So I had 12 of those opening up, and Sue's going, taking it forever. So I asked the dean at that time, can I get just a real can opener? What is that? And I showed him a picture. Yeah, it's fairly cheap and it lasts forever. You know, it was a little rusty and dirty because we don't use it that much. If you're in a hotel or restaurant, you use that a lot. And in America too, we have a lot more canned foods. We use more canned items than you guys have. And these cans they didn't even have the pull tops. Usually in Korean product they have pulls. This is a Bumblebee brand too. This is a good brand. This is a well-known brand. And this is wild catch salmon. So this is actually probably pretty good. Oops. You can see that's ripped up there. It says wild caught, not farm raised. But it has skin, bones, and everything else in it. I've never used this particular can, and it has a lot of kumul in it, so we have to take a look and see what we get. I can see using that sauce for something. Well, this will be fine. This will work out real well. We're going to just drain it though. We want to. Well, pretty good size. Pretty good. Then we got to definitely remove the bones. These are edible bones. All right. No, good calcium. I like it. We have to remove those from there. But. And the skin. We don't want the skin in there. Delicious, he says. Well, I've been at people's houses where we had fish and they took the bones, like kasami bones, and fry.
Yeah.
Right? And,
from eels.
Oh, eel. Okay, yeah. What's wrong with that? Not crispy, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. Good calcium. Good food. Okay, back to gravlax. This. It's good taste though. A little salty. All right. So once again we got to be careful about what we add. These I took from the freezer. They're raw, frozen. Pretty tasteless. Not a lot of flavor in there. The reason why I picked shrimp here because clams are a little jolty, a little hard. So if you slice in the pate, you could really ruin it. If your knife is not sharp enough, you just push the clam through there and break everything up. So it's definitely not my first choice, but it's the only thing that we have around. I'm going to take off a little of this pepper here because this looks like a lot. Skin's still on. First cut you don't really need. I'm going to cut it this way so you guys can see. Nice thin cuts. Should have a thinner knife, like a sushi knife for this. Now the first cut has a lot of seasoning on it. It's maybe too seasoned, too salty. Can you get the one morning bread?
Yep.
Or two or so.
Two?
Two, yeah. Three. I'm sorry, three. Three is a good number. There we go. Oh, it's very nice. So you slice it like smoked salmon. Cut down to the skin and you stop and you come across. Knife should be sharper and thinner. This is a thick blade for this kind of cutting, this kind of work. No skin. Skin on there. And one more. Nice oily texture. Very nice. This came out really good. If we had red onions, which we don't, but. Oh, the capers. Capers, please. Now, if I was going to use shallots for something like this, which I am using, I wouldn't chop them very small. I would keep them large. So people know, because you can serve shallots as like you do onions. There's nothing wrong with that. And shallots are more expensive. So if you're going to use something expensive, you might as well show it. Kind of like smoked salmon garnish. And if we had just a really small bowl. Yeah. So what do you think? What mayonnaise? Garlic bread, maybe? Well, the tomato's nice, but you got the red color. You want something a little different color. The mustard would be probably a better flavor with it, but I think, yeah, we all agree. Excuse me, we all agree. I got some parsley. I know parsley garnish, I know it's old-fashioned, it really is, but it's better than nothing at this point. We could use some of the thyme, but this thyme is not even, if you look at this thyme, it's not attractive at all. It's looks like hay or weeds or something. We could use a whole piece of basil, but that wouldn't really do anything either. Just garnish it like that. We should slice the bread though. Crackers would be better, but once again, we don't have anything like that. What's good about gravlax is many things, first of all, but what's really good about it, first of all, is you make it. It's yours. It's not like you have smoked salmon on your menu. Everybody knows you're not smoking your own salmon, but you can make your own gravlax. And if you look at it really close, it looks pretty much like smoked salmon. Now, it doesn't have the smokiness of it, but it does have that buttery texture of it, which you guys will find out very shortly. Sweet, salty, spicy with that, so once again, some people call it poor man's smoked salmon, but once again, you have a restaurant, you make your own, and you could, this is very traditional. We could use gochugaru, we could use garlic. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with this. Once again, but don't be locked in on one item, okay? Let's do a slice for the boys. Hear their opinion. Like it?
Similar to smoke.
Oh yeah, very similar. That oiliness that does it. Now when they smoke salmon commercially, they force in water and oil to give it weight, because that's what they're selling. They sell salmon by weight. This is reduced down. It has a creamy texture to it, has the oiliness that's natural in salmon. Seasoning is very traditionally Western, which you guys might not like because of that, but it came out very good. It came out very, very nice. Can you give me another cutting board?
Yeah.
So you can move along. Put that over there. And wrap it up. Would be nice. Put it in the refrigerator. Okay. Now, what you have with something like that, too, the Gravlox, is that you have the perception, people perceive that you're making everything homemade. If you're making your own, you know, you could probably call it home style. You can't really say smoked salmon, but you can smoke that. If you took a hotel pan and you had some wood chips, you could smoke it lightly, and you could call it smoked salmon at that point. But it's perceived as something homemade, something that you made, not something that you bought. And once again, at least in the West, and in Korea too, homemade always sells better. Okay, move some stuff out of the way. We'll get rid of the cans. Need that. We'll take a look at our salmon now that it's drained a bit. Oh yeah. I don't think we have to worry about those little bones. Call those pin bones. These ones, at least I can take out. They're big enough. Well, this is a nice product. It's fairly cheap too. And since we're going to puree, we're going to do 2 recipes, and as soon as we're going to puree it, I see absolutely no problem using that. That's the big bones. Those we don't want in there. The student didn't like it. It's too hard. Kind of chalky. I like them. Oops. I think that was about it. Just 2 large bones. This you could do it like a salmon pasta salad with this. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. Usually if you do like salmon pasta salads in hotels or restaurants, you have leftover pieces from salmon and you use it for that. But since we're going to puree this, I see absolutely no reason to do that with fresh salmon. So let's move along on the recipe here. Okay, we're going to make a force meat out of this, right? We're going to do it the same way we did the roll-on. We're going to use the mixing machine. Okay, so the mixing machine and the base. Oh, you got it. Okay. And it's the top. This plugs into that, yeah. I'm actually quite pleased with this. It works well enough, that's for sure. Now the recipe calls for a whole salmon, obviously. So we're not going to be making that much. What we're going to need is the containers. Where did they go? Oh, there. Because this is a baked item. This is once again we'll cook it in a water bath. You'll see. So I got these. I got 3. Let's see. These things you always wash. A lot of people don't. You have food to go, take out foods. A lot of times people just take them out and they just use them. These are not necessarily, they're sanitary. There's no bacteria on there. A lot of times it's manufacturing oil and things like that. A little, it's not bad, but if you a lot of it could become a problem. Okay, I guess what we'll first do is actually get our garnish together. The shrimp I'm going to lightly chop. Only because, like I said, garnishes should be fairly soft, so when you cut the pate or scoop out the pate, it doesn't break it up. We're going to be putting this in the oven, so that's no problem. About being cooked, that is the problem. It's right out of the freezer, so at least it's hopefully fairly safe. Okay. Get rid of that. Let's get chives. What we're going to do. And yesterday I kind of made a mistake. I said, in the West we really don't use the greens, and we really don't per se. But chives are all greens. Where my little knife is. So we're going to make believe chives. It's a little woody. Definitely a different onion flavor than you would have with, say, shallots or white onion. Definitely has a different flavor. You guys prefer pop more than anything else when it comes to cooking. In the West, we use a lot more young pop. I guess just a cultural thing. Olives. Once again, truffles would be the best thing to use, but obviously we're not, definitely out of our budget, that's for sure. But we can make them look like truffles. We use about 4. Make them look like truffles, you cut them lengthwise, and you just shave them like into little quarter moons. Obviously, if you cut them into circles, people are going to know exactly what they are. You cut them like this. We call it salad cut or pizza cut when you cut olives that way. So you only use that for other items. Once again, when it's baked into the pate, it's going to be just a very colorful thing. Could you use the peppers? Sure. You could garnish with just about anything. Now our fresh herbs, basil and thyme, and that's it, and Tabasco. Starting flour. I mean, it's fairly old. This is a little too large of a leaf. This is a bottom leaf. Basil leaves usually like this, good size. I'll chiffonade this. Once again, in yesterday's class, and chiffonade I use a lot on leafy vegetables. Keep them large. I'm running out of bowls. I got it. This one over here. Garnish we're going to fold in at the end. First we're going to do it by machine. We're going to make a mousse. It should start looking, the recipe now should start looking familiar. You know, if I give you a recipe, if I say make a mousse, and you see something like this, you're going to kind of know how this works now. Or you should at least. Okay. It says skin, but I don't see any skin on this, guys. Do this kind of darker. It's not the Giedam part. Well, maybe it is Giedam part. Which you really don't want in our mousse. You want a nice pinky color. Like this. This is the healthiest part for you, that's for sure. The DHA, the natural DHA part, that part. We're not putting that in because it's going to make it a little brown. Some slip through, but that's okay. That's the best thing for you. There's some skin right there. Not much of it though. It is a big piece of skin. Didn't come off very easy. I like salmon skin though. You go like Japanese sushi bars, salmon skin rolls. Nice, nice. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, that should be about enough. Like the chicken sausage now, basically the hot dog style. Basically gonna do the same thing here. Same ingredients, egg whites and cream. The wood paddle? Yeah, it's better for scraping that. You can probably break this stuff up pretty much by hand anyway. So probably this is probably the best thing to do. It's just pretty dry. We did say I did save the cool mold because that is a lot of flavor in it. So. Definitely call for plan B on this one. I'll be doing this all day. Add a little liquid to it. One chef too I worked for, he always used to say never throw out flavors. And he always said that kind of thing, like anything that you have some kind of flavor to it has a use somewhere. Now if I didn't need that, better. And we're going to add egg whites to it, so that's going to give it some body and make the grinding go a little quicker. It's about 1 egg white. You don't want to add the cream. The cream will turn to butter. You just want to really mix the cream in. It's the last one you add, besides the garnish. It's getting there. It's just not turning. The chicken turned, if you remember that, how that worked. I don't know if you can see it now. It's folding under itself. Because you want it really smooth. Add some cream. These things are always crazy to open. I mean, an easier way. I'm gonna add a little more, but a little at a time. So you don't want to make butter, you just want this to fold in nicely. And there we go. All right, nice and smooth. And we'll fold it in with our garnish. Now seasoning wise, this is pretty salty already. Definitely gonna add some pepper to it. It does call for Tabasco, which is definitely the quintessential American spice. Tabasco started in 1865 in Louisiana. On ground that was very salty, nothing would grow, but chili peppers grow. And it was after the American Civil War, and there was no money, and this guy just grew peppers, and peppers started to go bad, so he put it in vinegar. He started making pickled peppers, and then after pickled peppers, he realized that people didn't want the pepper, but they liked the sauce, the vinegar that came from it. And even today, when they pick those peppers, they have a little color chart that people have on it, and that only that certain color red is when they pick their peppers for making Tabasco. They're very particular. It's a very unique product, American product. Because we're not known for spicy food, but it comes from New Orleans, Louisiana, which is known for Cajun cooking. So they do use spice in their cooking. But you guys don't seem to like Tabasco that much. Too much vinegar, I think. To me, it's very nice.
I like it.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Texture-wise, it's not the best. Not the best. I think maybe I should be more careful with the little bones. But that's the right texture there. And maybe baking it out is going to change it. I just tasted it for the salt. It's salty enough. Plenty salty. Could put some lemon in here. Nothing wrong with that either. There's a lot you can put in here. Now this is raw egg, so we're going to have to cook it. So that's what the little pans are for. Watch a video on the pate, which I think you'll see at Chuseok. So I think you'll see that before this video. Pound out the air. What you're going to need is a well, I guess we could do it on the stovetop. Yeah, we'll do it on the stovetop. Oh, you could do this in the oven or in a stovetop. It's just a small amount. No, we'll use a fry pan. Yeah, but you get a clean fry pan. That one has some oil in it. Just take some of that water. This water here. That's probably too much to float away. Set up a bain-marie, a water bain-marie, hot water bath to cook this. If you did it in the oven, you do it the same way. Like a pate too, when this cooks, this will crown up and then go down. Now the recipe doesn't call for it, but this works out really well. A little Parmesan cheese on top. It gives it a nice flavor. If you did it in the oven, it would brown nicely. It's not going to brown in here, but that's fine too. There's a light coating on it. Oh, the gelatin. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to put the gelatin in. Don't worry, it'll work out fine. Right? The gelatin, once again, gives it body, so do the egg whites. Now that's interesting. Thank you very much. I didn't miss that. It's on there too. Don't worry about it. We'll see what happens. I'm sure it's going to, what we call set. I'm sure it's going to set. That's what the gelatin does. It just gives it some body. Too much gelatin makes it rubbery, and that's not good either. So what we're going to do is cook one without gelatin and one with gelatin. Now, come back here. Come back here. We can scoop it out. It's going to change the recipe a little with the Parmesan cheese in there, but that's not going to make that much of a difference. Well, sometimes mistakes you learn. You know, so. Gelatin does the same thing as it does with the chicken breast. It'll soak up any moisture that comes up off the vegetables or the onions. There's another step I didn't do. What did I not do? Boys, there's something I should have done, and I didn't do. Before you roll or pack or make or do anything together, what do you do? Do a test quenelle. Question? No question? What do you need?
You little bacon is okay?
Oh, you need some?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. For lunch or for teacher?
No,
it's in there.
It's another prop.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Where, next door? Over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mixed in a little gelatin. This one doesn't have the gelatin. Now you're swinging the camera over here. And I won't put Parmesan cheese on top so we can tell which one's which. Like I said, this should work out well. I see no problem with that. The gelatin will give it a little more body, that's for sure. It'd be nice, idealistically, to get a top on this. So it cooks evenly. That's why I say the oven's generally better to cook something like this. But for these two little items, put in a turn on the oven, do all that kind of thing. You find it? Oh, it might be here. I'm sorry. I think it's right there, right next to potatoes, right there. Okay. They need some bacon next door, so that's fine. The roulade. Now this water's still mogaton hot, but I'm going to remove that, put that in the refrigerator, let this cook. I actually leave this here. We'll do one more force meat. This works out really well. People kind of like this a lot. Well, first of all, it's cream cheese. People like cream cheese. Where's I need the machine again cleaned. We'll clean that. We'll clean this. Yeah, the bones are definitely an issue there. It gives a certain chalkiness to it that I don't particularly like. I don't think you like it either. But cooking it could definitely change. But this is a non-cooked version of it. So he's one of the better Jogios. Thank you. He really is. He's really very diligent about getting stuff done. See, like here, I got this a little bone here. This, I think, it's edible, but it does, when you puree it, it doesn't make it totally smooth. So maybe this type of product isn't the best. Now, we used to get salmon, canned salmon, we used to make a canned salmon, but it had no skin and bones in it. It was just meat, like the way tuna fish comes, that way. This has some of these little bones in there. And it's relatively inexpensive, both ways. I don't know how much, I should ask that. How much was a can of salmon? How much money?
How much?
Yeah, one,
연어 한 캔 얼마?
세 캔밖에, is 3 can only.
yeah, how much?
How much?
하나당 얼마인지.
가격. It's price?
Yes.
One packet is 4,000.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. 4,000 for one can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fairly cheap. Not as cheap as I thought it would be, to be honest with you, but what you make out of it is a lot, you can get a lot out of one can. There you go, that's a nice low simmer. Time in this one. Fold that in later. Salty. Once again, it's always a good idea to taste what you can be working with. Paddle. Yes. Thank you. Now, if you're doing this with fresh salmon, you're going to be poach the salmon. That was pretty painless. That worked easy. A little pepper. So I was saying, oh, this is okay. Garlic powder. What I was saying before is that when I put that together, I should have done a test quenelle. Always do a test quenelle on all these things. I didn't do it on that one because I guess I don't know, I'm prone to mistakes. A little pepper.
What's the paprika mean? Powder? And the last one, paprika.
Yeah, paprika powder. There it is. Now this isn't spicy. It shouldn't be, at least. Oh, it is. Okay. Paprika piedmont generally are just real paprika powder is just dry piedmont, so it's not spicy. We call this Hungarian paprika. Hungarian paprika is spicy. So, which you might know. You might know. Being in Romania, Hungary's neighbors, right? They neighbor each other? Yeah. Right. So they have this thing called Hungarian paprika, which is a spicy paprika. A little lemon juice. Because again, with seafood, that can't go wrong. Any more shallots? Can I use a little white onion? Oh yeah, I'm going to steal from this plate. Here again. can add our sour, well, sour cream would be very nice here, but our whipping cream. Excuse me. I didn't bring my water down with me. Usually I have a little shaker of water. Well, we'll take a break. We'll get something to drink, soda or something. A lot of talking, guys. A lot of talking. Blend it till smooth. Nice consistency. I guess like a mayonnaise. Right? A thick mayonnaise. It kind of goes. Doesn't need any salt. It really doesn't. It has plenty of salt in it. Put the salmon in there. Anything else you want to add to that? Oh yeah, I pulled these out. Some sun-dried tomatoes. We'll fold that in with the herbs. This is called pulsing. Instead of letting it run, because you don't want it to get hot, because this is cold preparation. You see here there's some cheese on the side. Let's get that off. We're going to adjust seasoning now, that's for sure. Now this is a cold preparation. This is something that you're not going to cook. So this is truly a mousse. Right, better. You got to be more careful about the bones. Right? The first time I wasn't that careful. I didn't think it'd be a problem. There's a nice lemony taste to it too, which I think is very nice. And so for the garnish, I'm going to use fresh thyme and some sun-dried tomatoes. I'm going to put this through a pastry bag. So you're going to have to cut the garnish fairly small. This stuff's pretty tough, that's for sure. A little more time. This is pretty ratty. Ratty time. There should be. Swing the camera over. Let's take a look under the hood here. What we got? Oh, yeah. They're both set up. They both will cook. Be firm. Now they're gonna not be hard. They're gonna be. It's a pate. So pate is, by definition, a pate is a spreadable meat product, meaning that it's not so soft. Back of the bowl. Fold in our garnish. Can you take out one of these? Or wash this one if you don't mind. Just wash this one. You can see here a lot of cheese on the bottom. Not too much because you see it's swirled in. So not necessarily an industrial unit, but it works well. Good for home, not necessarily. The school has like 3 or 4 of these, and a lot of them are broken. This plastic is very breakable. This plastic breaks very easily. And you guys are very tough with that. Thank you. Now I should have got some crackers, because that's what this is for. Wow. Now, oh no, a spatula, the wood thing. Actually, call this a paddle. Fold in the garnish. Well, the sun-dried tomatoes you don't have to worry about, they're not going to break, that's for sure. No, it's a good habit. Just folding it in. Now it's fairly soft, right? But when we put it in the refrigerator, whoops, I missed that. When we put it in the refrigerator, it's going to get fairly firm. It gets actually kind of hard because of the cream cheese in it. These are really, really small tips. Yikes. I don't know if you can use them. This sun-dried tomato won't pass through it. What you can do to make tips a little larger too, you can take the sharpening steel, kind of round it out. These are too small though. Okay, I won't use that. What's this one here? There it is. No bigger ones?
Oh, maybe.
Can you look?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Go. You see, they got bigger ones.
좀 더 큰 거.
The big ones.
Bigger
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Because the sun-dried tomatoes won't pass through this. It won't stop in 1 second. So. Guys getting tired, huh? Yeah. I know. It's not a lot of fun. It's fun the first day. That's why I said, in the beginning, thank you guys for all your hard work. It's not easy at all.
It's almost reaching 50.
Almost reached it. Oh, that's fine. We're at the end. What I do when all this stuff cools off, I'll just do a quick 5-minute show and tell, basically, of what I got. Well, I'll keep the mayonnaise. See, I got the 3 o'clock meeting, so I have to go home and change, shower. So it works out quite well that way. Okay, just while he's getting that, let's just review. Once again, in my eyes, this is more of a pate because it's in the oven. It's cooked. This is truly a mousse, in my definition, like a chocolate mousse or anything else that's non-cooked, pureed, and highly seasoned. Force meats, we made plenty of force meats at this point now. You guys should be the force meat kings of it. You sausage kings, that's for sure. You guys made some really, really nice sausages. There we go. There we go, the big one.
Okay.
So you got a big star tip. You take a sharpening steel and you put it through here and make it a little larger. You want to make it small, you just roll it and you push the points in. So once again, we have a large garnish going on there, so if anything small would get caught. So look how big that is now. So these are, I know it's hard to see. What I'm going to do is cut it about there. You want to make sure it's small enough so the bag doesn't force through. Cut it too large, the tip will just come right through the bottom, and then you'd be asking for another one. Yeah, that's good. Fits quite well. Now the reason why I'm doing this in the bag, we can just put it in here and be done with it. Just for two reasons. First of all, if you had crackers, I wish you did, we could put it on the morning bread, but it doesn't look right. It'll look funny. Put something here. You cuff this down, you fill it up, and then you cuff it like that so that there's no gack on the outside of the bag. I should have kept this on ice, that's for sure. Is that time or time? Yeah, it's a little too warm right now. So this is all 50% cream cheese, so it gets pretty hard. I get buttery like, I guess I wouldn't say hard. Well, you'll see that or maybe tomorrow. We'll see how things go tonight. And just kind of maybe rosettes, maybe. Delightful. Good to the last squeeze. A little. You want to keep that texture on top. Refrigerator. There we go. Take a nice close look at that. That's non-cooked. That's really a mousse. The cooked ones. Let's take a look here. Let's swing the camera over. Oh yeah. Yeah, a little too hot. You see, they crown, and all pâtés will crown. So we're we'll do an internal. This one has a Parmesan cheese. This is no gelatin. This is the gelatin one. Oh, that's probably done. Let's do an internal. Look for 180. That's the egg. That's the temperature the eggs cook at. Okay, 195. Okay, good. They're done. They're done. I'm sure the other ones are both at the same time. This one has no gelatin. You can see the Parmesan cheese on there. I'm going to put a little more on there, just so I can make sure it has a hole in it. So this is no gelatin. This is gelatin. We'll check it out. This feels firmer. Yeah, I can feel the difference there. I'm going to gently take those out of the water. Last thing you want to do is get water on the inside of these things, that's for sure. See how they drop down again? When I opened it up, they crested. It's called the crest when the pâté, all pâtés do, they go up like that. Usually pâtés too. This would be called the terrine, because we serve it in this. You pop it out, it becomes a pâté, which is kind of interesting. But oh yeah, there is a texture difference there. We'll find out when it cools. That's for sure. I'm going to cover these. Now, since they're hot, feel the difference. This must be 2. Oh, it is. Since they're hot, what you're gonna do is just loosely cover them. Just so the steam will escape from that. The heat will escape, but not so much moisture, because once again, you don't want to dry that out. In the refrigerator, please.
Okay.
And one more plate. I got one. Okay, you have to put a large oval plate. Give this a second. Like I said, this is cooled down to almost Mogatong's temperature. And that's what you want to do. And you want to gently, I'm pulling it out straight like this and putting it in like that. Now a lot of that liquid there is not necessarily water, but from the inside of the chicken itself. And the gelatin, when it cools, should pick up a lot of that. Okay? This goes in, I'm going to pour off this extra water that's dripping. Take a closer look at it. What I want to do is actually find the upside. Here's the diamond that I filled in. See how it fills in? It fills in quite nicely. But we're gonna put it like, keep this, we're gonna let it cool like this, because this is a prettier side. And that will cool and firm up. Would you mind putting that in the refrigerator? Okay. So back towards me. Okay. What a mess. What a mess. Well, we did a lot again. And we'll let those cool. I'll save a few mayonnaises for presentation. I might look at it tomorrow, I might look at it tonight. I got a meeting to go to in an hour, so I have to run and shower and come back. That's it, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.